Hi everybody, it's Ed back again with some crude oil fun. Let's have some fun trading crude oil, right? Okay, what have I got? This was a chart at about, you're looking at like 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock this morning, right? I'm going to extend this across here because I'm trying to make a point. Okay, I've got this range here that I have drawn out. 7 o'clock ish, you're looking at a buy from the bottom. See where the bottom came in. About 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning, right? And so what are you doing? You're trading back at least a VWAP, right? If you could get a little bit more, that's cool. I put a couple of things on the chart. It seems like the market respects to $400 to $500 chart ranges. So I put basically a $400 target on here, and to the downside, and also there's the upside. There's the short target. There's the long target. I've got three of them on there. I've got a $400, an $800, and a $1,200 target. Okay, and these are all based on VWAP, right? So I've got VWAP minus $400 is here's your line, right? So if you'd have gotten into a trade at, say, for example, right here, if you got in a trade right here, there's your target, your 78.94. If you got there, there's your target right there, and that is 78.54. So that's a $400 move right there, right? So that would be where your target was, right? If you chose to take that trade, and there's no reason to say that you wouldn't. Back here at 3 o'clock in the morning, when London opened, okay, what are our qualifiers? Okay, we're below. See the dashed or the line there, the solid line. That's the daily value area high. Okay, and that's based on. Let's see what we have here. That's based on 95%. Based on 95% of the value, right? Because I've noticed that 70%, sometimes it'll chop you up, and sometimes they're not quite accurate because the market likes to run over those. You could use these, as I mentioned in the other video. You could use these, say for example, you could use these for shorts right here. See this line right here? See this zone right here? That is a VWAP extension. So if you're trading overnight, what you can do is you can have that. You get the VWAP extension. You have value area high up here. You short it, right? Where's it going to come? Well, you're targeting value area low right here. Okay, this is one way to trade it. So right here you've got a short. Say for example, at 79.05. Okay, your target would be right down here at 78.81. Right. So you're looking at a couple $100 overnight to trade that. If you have more than one contract, you could, say for example, go short up here. Your stop loss is up here. You're looking at 79.04, 79.05, right? Where'd the price go? 79.08. So you can have an extremely tight stop. There's a lower high. There's a higher high, and there's a lower high right there. You've got a little bitty miniature head and shoulders right there, right there, right there. Okay. So let me draw that in. So you're going right there to there, and then here to there, right? So low, high, low. That's a head and shoulders, little miniature head and shoulders pattern. And if you've watched any videos about that, the head and shoulders pattern is got like an 80 or an 85% reliability rate. It works out 80, 85% of the time. So it's extremely, extremely reliable chart pattern. Okay. So what you're doing is if you're trading overnight, you're looking at a trade, say up in here, and you got to wait for a few hours, right? So you're looking at shorting value area high, short value area high, and then there's your stop way up here. Short, it's not way up there, it's just a few ticks up, right? So if you got a 9-tick stop and you short this guy, you're, pretty much, in like Flynn, right? So you go down here, bounces off VWAP, down here, bounces off VWAP. Why would you, number one, why would you want to be in the short, not be in the long? Well, I mean, you see this maroon band, it's respecting that maroon band, right? There's a new value area high, the dotted line right there. That's a 2-day value area high. And it's respecting that. So once it establishes it, another way to trade this, and I've got another video about this, I mentioned it this morning. See that dotted line right there? Whoops. See that dotted line right there? That is at the previous 7906. That is the previous 2-day value area high. So once it makes a new one here, when it comes back down, that's, you can draw a line across there. That's exactly, and that's right there. And that's exactly where you'd short it, okay? 7906. If you're playing the VWAP thing, playing the VWAP game, I mean, you're bouncing up here. Every time you hit up here, you add a contract, okay? There are chart patterns around, and I have to find the video that talks about that, and I'll post it in the description when I find it. What happens is that somebody has gone back through and made, studied like 10,000 trades or something, and chart patterns and things, says which are the most reliable chart patterns. And just because it bounces off a level, for example, right here, does not mean it's going to go through. I heard that. I was in a trading room this morning and somebody said that, well, it bounces off this trade, bounce off these levels 3 or 4 times, it's going to break through. Well, not necessarily so. So we're looking at, we talked about the basic strategy overnight. The basic strategy is you've got your VPOC above VWAP, so you're only looking for shorts, right? Unless this thing shifts. So we're going down, we're selling right here. So as you come down, see this little line right there? There's your $500 line. So if you want to make $500, and you're up here, if you shorted VWAP, if you shorted up here, you're gonna make more than that. But if you're just into it for, I just want a quick hit, I just want to, I want a quick dopamine hit here. I want to come down and and there's my target. At the moment you get into that VWAP trade, look down. Okay, there's your target. So what you're doing is you're setting that up. You're setting it up for your $500 target. Now, what you might want to do is you might want to go one more tick. That way, you're making an additional $10, and your commission is covered. This line here kind of gives a little bit of perspective. See an orange line? That's a 5 EMA on a 30-minute chart, projected from a 30-minute chart. I don't use it to trade. I just kind of use it to look back to say, okay, fine, are we going up, are we going down, are we going to flip, are we going sideways? Just additional confirmation we're going down, because you could see the move down, 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 and then down, down. But we'd flattened out right here, okay? So anywhere in here, you can, if you're shorting up here, you're starting to look at this area. If you sold that pullback right there, see what that pullback is right there, or you hit my level right here. Almost came back to Globex open, but you hit my 78, almost to 78.85 open, and that was a level I marked. Globex open, boom. If you front ran it, somebody did. At the bottom of that, anywhere in here, short it. You can see that coming up. Short that thing, and you're back down in for another $500. So $500 there. Wait for the pullback. $500 again. You've made your $1,000 for the day. Okay. If you didn't, I love trading London because of stuff like this. If you didn't trade, okay, if you didn't trade London and you walk in all bleary-eyed at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, even if you're trading this, why did we turn around? See where we turned around right there? See value area low? There's that daily value area low line coming down. It comes here, right? It stops right there. Well, there's your push up right there. Push down, right? So if you're looking for a short, you could short it anywhere up here, or you could short it right there and just grab some cash on the way down and be done with it. Once this thing, see how that's flattened out a lot? That's dry. You know, basically we're out of value area. It's like people are going, hey, I don't want to sell down here. I want to buy. You know, it's out. It's well away from VWAP. I want to buy that, right? And you're down. You're just below this 500 line. So what you could do if you're trading, you know, 440, come back, go through this line. See that line down there? You're in this green zone. See that green zone right there? Your green zone. You're extended from VWAP. Your value area low has flattened out, right? You could take that long right here, right back up to VWAP, make another 500 bucks, right there. If you wanted to go for a little more, then you could say, okay, fine. From value area low, we're going to trade. See where price action went from value area low all the way up to value area high, right there, right in this area. Midnight open. There's value area high. That's a nice long move there from value area low to value area high. That's 78.40 to 79.05. So that's a $600 move. So you make 600 bucks there, right? Coming down, see that line there? That line kind of turned down. You'll see this action right here. These big ones, these little bitty flipper moves. Just a little fiddling around up here. Came down, and boom, there you go. So shorting, again, as I mentioned in the video, you pop above that VPOC right there, and then short it as you come back through it, right? Or you can do the pullback there. That is just a little bitty pullback. There's VPOC. There's VPOC right there. Okay. So you short it, you come down, right? You're in sell mode here, so you're shorting that from where 78.97, right? You hit 79, 79.05. You could short it up here. You can short it when you come down here. Okay, so bam, 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 79.05, 78.97, right? So you're looking for another $500 move, right? So you're looking for 78.50 or so, right? So grab some cash. There's your 78.52, 78. You got it at 78.97. So you're looking at 78.47, right? There you go. There's your 78.47. There's your $500 move right there, right there. If you reloaded, if you sold another contract up here as you came up through VPOC, right? Sold another one right there as you came down, or you could sell the retest. Either one as you came back down through VPOC or VWAP, sold another one at VWAP. Okay, there's your there's your $400 short target, and there's another there's another 400 bucks for you. Shorting it right there, right? There's your target right there. So you got another 400 bucks, right? Now we're coming into 9 o'clock. So this is all pre-market action. You've made, you made a couple thousand pre-market today. So now what happens? We start this choppy chop stuff. They're trying to push it down, But you notice, see that $400 short target line? You notice it can't get below there. There's today's low, which we forgot when we hit that, but I think it was way back. Yeah, there you go, way back over here, today's low. Okay, they cannot push it down to today's low, right? What happens? There's value area low. You're not shorting. You're certainly not shorting this. You're running right into value area low. You're running right into this guy, into the green cloud, which is buying. See that $400 short target? It's kind of marching down there, but not really. So once you hit value area low, you're looking at a long to at least back to VWAP. Okay. Value area low. There's value area high up here. Okay, 79.03, 78.32. That's a $700 move, right? I'm sorry, 78.37. So you'd be trying to go long somewhere in here. Okay, if you went long at 78.37 right there, your stops are at, let's see, your stops are at what, 78.32. So you're looking at a 5-tick. You're looking at a 5-tick risk here. If you're 9 ticks down here, if your stop is like 9 ticks, in like Flynn, baby. Let's go. Boom, boom. So there's a push through retest. There's a push through to run stops. Another one to run stops. Right? You're not even in danger of that. And then the last pin right there at value area low. And here we go. That's basically my other level down here. The reason I drew this this little zone here, that green zone, I wanted to highlight the fact that we're still, here's value area low. We're still rejecting out of there. We're still rejecting out of this zone. So nowhere to go but up. Okay. Now, if you let's see what happens with his volume profile. You'd have had a few minutes. You'd have had about 15 minutes or so to take a look at this, right? So let's see what happens. Let me put, you're still above VWAP on this thing, right? But you're at value area low. So just because it's one of those contextual things. Yeah, we had a VPOC up here. We had a VPOC, but we're running back and forth right over the top of that VPOC, right? So, and they're trying to push it down, In context, this thing says, no, we're not going, right? Okay, I'm going to get rid of that because I just proved my point here. Okay, now, see that? Let me go right there. There it is. Okay. Oops. See, there's your point of control. There's your volume point of control right up here, right? So you're chopping, right? Now, see what happens on the next bar. Boom. On the next bar, right? Flip down. Your volume point of control came up here to flip down right below price action. I don't know when this did this, but I'd have to look at the volume profile for, we'd have to mess with this a little bit. But on this bar, that bar right there, you saw that flip. And let's see if we can isolate that. Okay, there was the flip right there. Okay, so in this zone, right, if you drew this thing, you're looking, I'm just trying to get it accurate. You wouldn't be able to do this. You wouldn't be able to do this in, when you're drawing this thing and going, okay, where am I at? I'm at the bottom here, right? So I'm at the bottom, right? It did flip down here short term, right? But this thing isn't going to tell you that. You could see it via order flow down here. If I turn on order flow, I'm absolutely sure that I am seeing rejections. And you can see the pins. You don't need order flow to see the pins. Where are the pins? Rejecting upside, rejecting downside, downside. What's important about this is you're in this zone. You're in this zone right here, and you got value area low above you, right? So you're in kind of between value area low and today's low down, or in this zone down here. You're in kind of no man's land, okay? You're trying to push the market down, but there's just nobody selling down here. Just nobody selling, right? So what happens? You can take it at value area low, right? Take the long at value area low because there's nothing down. Nothing down here. Nobody selling. All they're doing is, they keep pushing it down. Well, people say that. Actually, what's really happening is, if you can clearly see those rejections, those are actually professionals loading for the long, right? They're adding, as you push down, they're adding their position to buy it. They might not have caught it here, but they certainly, well, they probably caught it here. They caught it here, they caught it here. Buy one there, buy one there, buy one there. Okay, and you could have bought a last one right here. You could be in for 3 or 4 contracts. Okay, your first contract is off at VWAP. Your second contract might be off at, say, for example, Globex Open. Okay, and see where the VPOC and the VWAP cross right there? You could use that at $400. You could draw that line across there, right across this guy, and basically go long. There's your short targets, or your long entry, and up we go. What are you looking for? You're looking for $1,000, right? Looking for $1,000 move, $800, $800 to $1,000. Okay. I've got these long short targets on here, but you can change this. I mean, this is not a big deal, right? Now you're looking at, I'm looking at my daily chart over here, and I'm looking at, a 1.80 move. My average day, 10-day average day range is $1.80, right? So I could basically say, okay, I'm $1.80 off that guy, right? So 78.29, $1.80. So 78.29 plus $1.80 basically gives me an 80.09 target, okay? Potentially. Now, we know it didn't go up there. We didn't go, if you look at this chart, I mean, you didn't know then, right? But, you're looking at 79.80 right there, right? And there's your $1,200 target. So you'd be going long here, right? So you're going long, you could have taken one right off here, right? Stop loss to break even +1 for the rest of everything. So you're down in here somewhere for your long entry. Boom, it's going to react to VWAP when it comes up here, right? You know that. So we're looking at, traditionally, you're looking at this going, well, gee, should I short that, right? I'm not going to dump all my contracts, but should I short that? Well, you could have for scalp back down to pit open, but it bounced off, right? And then it went back up, formed back up here, and now it's coming back down, right? Pit open again. You could load for your longs. Why are you Ed? Okay, there's a reasonable question. Why are you long biased? You've got VPOC up here, you've got VWAP up here. Well, look at the context. We've already hit value area low down here, right? So why not buy it? Buy value area low. So you're looking, remember, price moves from, generally speaking, price moves from value area low to value area high, okay? You'll have some interaction at VWAP. Absolutely, you'll have that. And some days, you'll just come to VWAP and it'll sell off. Some days it does that, but that's because some big guy comes in and goes, I want to sell the crud out of the market, and it goes back down. And then you'll push. Sometimes you'll just push that value area low. But today there was no news today. There wasn't a whole lot of anything. So the market, if you're not having news, if you're not having anything exciting going on, people are going, well, it's in a range. Well, yeah, it is in a range-bound market a little bit. I mean, but you're going back to value area low and you're buying it, okay? So if I'm doing this, right, if I'm doing this off VWAP, right, okay, and I was just looking to see where my target was up here. So if you're doing that, right, from VWAP, if you bought VWAP, right, or you came down and this is fiddling around, you could, these guys are reloading. They bounced off their VWAP, bounced off VWAP and VPOC, right? You will have a reaction there, right? I'm biased long because I'm above value area low. But I also recognize the fact that we are going to have a reaction that's at VWAP, the VWAP and the VPOC. Okay, which one did I have a reaction to first? I had a reaction to the VWAP, right? Then I had a reaction to the VPOC. That is a clue that the market might just push through there because we're making higher highs here, higher high, higher high, higher high. You got a little bit of a megaphone here because you've got this action there and it's this action there. And I'll draw that out. You got a little bit of this going on. You got a little bit of this going on, right? So you got your little megaphone thing. And the strat guys talk about this megaphone a lot. It's called a broadening formation. And the strat folks talk about that a fair bit. And if you're interested, I would go look up Sarah Strat Sniper on YouTube. She's got some excellent videos. She's kind of my go-to person when people want to know about stuff like this, about broadening formations and the strat and how all that kind of stuff works. She's my go-to person. Anyway, so we got a broadening formation, right? What does that mean? That means that the range, the cycle range is improving, right? It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So we've got a lot of buyers coming in here, a lot of sellers coming in here, back and forth, back and forth. Who's going to win the race? Well, I think that because we hit VWAP first, and then we hit VPOC, right? Even though we came down here, you didn't even come close to your level here. You could have taken one off here, and then reloaded when it came down here if you wanted to. So what are we going to do? We pop down, okay? Now we get this sentiment change. Sentiment, not a sentiment change, but a sentiment change. See where we're making higher highs and higher lows right there? Now we start down. We're making a lower high here, right? And then we come down. You're making a higher low right here. So it looks like we got a sentiment change right in here. What happens? Come back through. You could load up there, come back through, and just let her go. Comes back to VWAP, right? You're coming back to VWAP a couple of times, right? However, that's a green VWAP, right? And then you come back down here into this area. You bust through that VPOC, right? So you're long now. You're certainly long bias. You're coming off value area high. You're looking at, maybe you're looking at value area high up here. Sorry, we were coming off value area low. Maybe you're looking at value area high for a target. Okay. Well, you could take one off at value area high. It's a nice chunk of change. If you're in for 3, you could, reload as you came back down here. You could get out here, take 2 off, take 1 off there, add 1, take 1 off there, right? And then you can add 1 or 2 if you have the contracts. If not, if you're only trading 1 of the 2 contracts, you're just holding it. Okay? Boom. Go to the upside, go to the upside, go to the upside. Boom, 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 boom. So where are we? Okay? Now, once we bounced off this guy, see where it changed from red to solid green? You go back through and you put a line right there. See where that is? That was that first green that really punched through it. Okay? So what am I looking at, right? There's my $400 long target right there. I take 1 off there. I'm going to take 1 off at my $800 long target. And I'll just hold it and grin and bear it because I know what's going to happen. Not that I knew it was going to happen what happened this morning, but I'm looking at these long targets. What's going on with the market that would cause me to think that it's going to go back up once I hit this guy, right? Pull back down. Well, look at these. Look at value area high. See how these guys value area is moving up, moving up, moving up, right? The value is moving up, which means we're still in the long trade, right? Value's moving up. It's getting, it's getting better and better and better. It's like a car, you're looking at buying a car, right? Well, I'd buy them down here, but see, the value of the car is increasing. Value of the car is increasing, so people are just, I want a car. I want it right now. Dang, I didn't buy it down here at 78.60, 7,800 and whatever that was. $7,840 or whatever that whatever this zone is, 78.30, 78.40, something like that. I didn't buy it at $7,840. I'm going to have to pay over $7,900 for that car. Crud. Oh well, but the value's increasing. You know, somebody came on and Tesla made an announcement on their big car, blah blah blah, whatever that was, whatever that announcement was, that is causing the value. There's value area high, that value to move up, right? VPOC's still down here, right? So now that VWAP's crossed here, right? It's crossed there. It's crossed VWAP, so you're not going to get anything really, really significant unless you want to scalp this stuff, right? If you wanted to scalp it, I went through this yesterday. What you do is you're looking at putting limit orders. You could put a limit order right here. See where this long value area high is? You could put a limit order there to sell it. Limit order there to sell it. I don't know why in the world you'd want to, but you could, right? Now it's flattened out and you've got a substantial run to the downside. So what do? You sell this guy, the previous one. So if you sold that, you know, and for $100, $200 right there, and then back up we go. And you can see that as an area where if you get caught, you know, if you wanted to take the short and you're going, well, you know, it's out of the cloud, it's out of the maroon cloud, I want to take that. Okay, cool. You can take that. Absolutely, you can take that. But your stop's up here, right? You may be taking it up here. Your stop's up here. So when it comes back in your face for more long action, you're going, well, I didn't lose money on that trade, got out. But you know, you probably haven't hit your target yet. Remember looking for at least $1,000 move off the bottom, okay? And the bottom was 78.29. I'm looking at 79.29 at least. There's 79.29. There's 79.28 was right there, across there. So you hit that $1,000 right there, okay? You made $1,000 off the bottom, and it's like 10:30 in the morning. So you know, you might want to think about getting out. What was my? Yeah, I'm looking at $1.80. So I'm not looking at getting out at $1,000. I'm looking at getting out at maybe $1,800 off the bottom, right? I'm looking at these things, and I'm looking at these projections off of VWAP. Potentially your 80.09. There's a potential. Well, here's your $400 long target. You got one off, right? Stop losses are all break even. You're good to go if you bought it from the bottom, right? If you bought it from the bottom, this is where you would take one off and then maybe add one back on in this area, right? So you may be good for 2 or 3 contracts, or you may just be holding one. That's cool. If you're holding one from value area low, man, you're in like Flynn, baby. Let's go. So these are all pullbacks. See, here's value area high, right? But we're not coming down any. We're bouncing off midnight open, bounce off midnight open. Every time we come down here, the buyers step in. Or as my friend Ann would say, the bars. So the bars step in, right? Driving it up. If you wanted to catch these little bitty swings, you could, right? Or you could just hold it for your $1,000. But if you want to catch these little bitty swings, cool. You know, but be aware that you are counter trend, right? Because this value area high is pushing up. The value of that car is pushing up. It's getting more and more and more valuable. Market's going up. Crude market's going up, right? It's coming back up. There's my 5 EMA, right? I don't like this because I don't like to trade moving averages. And the reason why is because, see, this looks really cool here. Oh yeah, I can do this, I can do this, I can buy down here, there's my stop loss. I can buy down here, here's my stop loss. Well, guess what? When this chart was actually live, right? I saw this moving average down here. This moving average is bouncing around down here, and then it would move up, and then move down, move up, move down, move up. That's why I'm not a big fan of trading moving averages. But I am not a trading god, and you do what works for you, right? I'm just showing you stuff where you can trade with value and make some money, okay? So pull back, pull back. Here's your $400 long target. Let's see. There's my $400 long target. So I've drawn a line right there. There's my 400 bucks, my $400 long target, right? I'm holding through these pullbacks, right? There's my $800 long target, and I'll just draw a line right there. There's my $800 target right there, and here's my $1,200 target right here. Okay. I'm going to leave those on there. I don't remember why I put those on there. I didn't think, you can't label on Sierra. Can't label that. Okay, so pulling back down to my $400 long target, right? I hit my 800, I'm out. Not out everything, of course, but there we go. I'm out. Okay. Whoops, grab the wrong one. Okay. $800 target, $1,200 target right there. Okay. So at the moment that this crosses the upside, draw that vertical line and start marking that, mark that off. Mark that off. Mark that off. Okay. I've got, so there we go. Okay. So you got your $400 target. It was choppy. I'll agree with you. It was choppy, but value's moving up. There's $400 target right there. You hit it. You're still holding. You're still holding from down here. If you got in down here, right? You're holding it. Comes back up, shoots back up, goes through VWAP right there, and now you're in like Flynn. Okay, you just made, there's your $400 target right there. You're holding it, you're holding it, you're holding it, you're holding it. You just made 800 bucks right there. Drew the line, remember? Comes down to your $400 target, bounces off, which was kind of cool, which just happens to be midnight open, right? People are getting out and they're reloading. The market comes down here, they're reloading for the long, reloading for the long, reloading for the long, right? And there we go. There's your $800 target right there, right? And you can see the market. The market's market was reacted to that. Market reacted to that $800 target. Market reacted to this $400 target right there. You could see it. And we're back up for your long target. You're looking at $79.88 as your $1,200 target for the day, or $1,000. You already made your $1,000 here. Between 800 and 12, so you just made $1,000 right there. Okay, and the market, of course, is going to react to it. Up, 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 up. Market reacts to this zone, comes back down to here, back down to that. The $400, those long targets are basically walking up, and then it comes back down, and you're finally, boom, there you go, and you're out. Okay, you're done by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. If you wanted to hold that, right? Okay, now what happened? Interestingly enough, here you go. There's your third target, 79.88, right? And you're out. Now, there's pit close right there. You could have shorted pit close, right? Come back down to that 79.40 if you wanted just to scalp 79.69 to 79.40 or whatever it's going to give you. There's my zone down here, which that did not hit there, but hit in Globex, right? So that's pretty cool. Short that guy, either short here on the retest or short that 2-day VPOC right there, or the session, the daily VPOC, which is right there. The solids daily, the dotted line is like a 2-day VPOC. So as it came back up here, retested the close, okay? As we retested the close, right? Boom, short it. Or you can just wait, short it right there, VPOC, okay? Then, you're coming down here, and, it's a nice little chunk of change, 79.69 to, say 70, what is that? 79.69, 79, you're looking at maybe 79.19 for $500, but you're not going to get it. I mean, this is like, $250 move. I'd grab 250 bucks off this thing and just be done for the day. Okay? And we're at the end. If I was, if I wanted to trade that. That's kind of a nice setup, actually, by the way. That's really, really a nice, there's crude market close. There. That's just really a nice little setup. I'd draw that on there. So between VPOC and pit close. Come back up to retest pit close. We're going short, right? Now, we're going into Globex. What do? I'm making this video, so I'm not trading it. Globex, here you go. Value area high. Pinned off value area high. We're coming down. Pinned off, here's value area high right up here, right? Now, what are we going to do? Short, short, short. Boom, boom, boom. More short action. You shorted pit close. Value area high is right here. Here's value area low, which is moving down, right? So what do? Me personally, I target that VWAP down there. First contract off. If you were selling, right? If you were selling the value area high up here, bam, sell that, come off. Because here's your value area high, here's your value area low. I would wait a little bit until I figured out, okay, what's the market really going to do? Because you can get whipsawed, because the market will very often do this whipsaw thing where they would come back up and then they come all the way up here, say, for example, like 79.48 or 79.50, take out everybody's stops and then go down, right? Or just continue to go up. We hit value area low, continue to go up. So just, I would certainly be careful during the first hour or so of Globex. I would probably not even trade this until the London session to see how Globex shook out. But you've got all this up here. Look at that value area high right across there. What's happening? Value area low is moving down, right? Value area high is right here, flattening out. So I'd certainly be looking at some scalp shorts and maybe just holding that position if I wanted to. If I had some no-dos and I wouldn't be falling asleep in front of my computer. Because Globex, especially for crude, Globex can be very, very slow. I don't think I'm not sure if the Asian market likes to trade. I think they're more into Forex. I think those guys are more into the foreign exchange markets in trading Forex than they are in trading commodities. But I could be wrong. I haven't been trading this new crude oil market very long, but the stuff that I learned years ago is still active, right? Still active. God, man, that was a beautiful short right here. Okay, once you had this little formation right here, which said the market was slowing down to the upside. You could have shorted that guy and just short and hold right there at 79.79. If you have the account to hold overnight in crude oil, bam, just hold it and just ride it down, right? You just sit there and from 4 to 5 o'clock, you grab something to eat or whatever, or watch a little TV and breathe deeply, relax completely, look at charts, look back over the price action for the day, and let her go. Anyway, I hope this was informative. I hope it was handy, just showing you areas where you could have dealt today successfully and made money. Anyway, See you on the flip side. Probably see you. I'm thinking about doing a pre-market video just to show you what's going on during Globex into the London session. I'm expecting, I'm looking for a bounce down here, okay, but I'm anticipating some sort of bounce up here. It may go back up, but we'll see. Anyway, have a wonderful evening, and we'll talk to you a little bit later. See ya. Hi, everybody. Ed back. By the way, I had dinner, and remember when I called the short at the end of the last video? Or well, I'm gonna append these together so now you see them. Just in your time, just a few seconds ago, I called the short. Well, guess what? That's working out just fine. If you'd have taken the short from here at 79.69, you're looking at $400 or $500 downside. If you took it here, $400. 79.62 to 79.23 or 22, something like that. $400, $450 on the short. So hey, this stuff works, man. Study it, look at it, trade it, make money. See y'all.